Hey guys, Constance here from Cosmopolitan Cornbread. So I am here in the kitchen. I'm getting ready to make a really easy brisket recipe. And I figured I would bring you in here into the kitchen and show you how I make this. So as you saw, I've got a full brisket here, and this is not something I make very often. This is kind of a special occasion sort of thing, just because a whole brisket is a little pricey. I have a recipe for a caramelized onion brisket dish that is on my website. But today I'm doing a brisket that is baked in the oven. It is slow roasted. There's a simple dry rub that goes on here, and I'm just going to show you how I do this. So first of all, I'm going to need a tablespoon of salt. Let me bring you down here. So I'm going to need a tablespoon of salt. I'm going to need a tablespoon of black powder, and I'm not going to grind this by hand. I'm just going to use some pre-ground pepper. Okay. Next, I need a tablespoon of onion powder. A tablespoon of garlic powder. Two tablespoons of chili powder. I need a tablespoon of sugar, and since I'm kind of avoiding regular sugar, I'm just going to use coconut sugar. But normal granulated sugar is just fine. That's what most people use. And I need 2 teaspoons of dry mustard powder. All right. So now I'm just going to take my little whisk here, and I'm going to mix my dry ingredients together. And all of these are normal ingredients, very easily found, nothing special. Alright, so now I'm going to take my dry rub here, and I'm going to spread it all over the top of my brisket. And I'm going to turn it over. And usually when you buy a brisket, one side is a little fattier than the other, and that's this case is as usual. And I'm going to put the fattier side up, and that's going to help your brisket stay nice and moist. So I'm going to take the other half of my rub here, spread it all over this side. Alright, and so now it's going to go into the oven just like this for about an hour at 400 degrees. Alright, so now my brisket has been baking. I'm going to pull this out real quick. And my pan here actually warps. As you can see, when it gets hot for some reason, one of these days I need to get myself a better roasting pan. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add in some beef broth, but I'm also going to lower my temperature. We're going to go down to 300 degrees. And I'm going to add in some beef broth. Now, let me bring it in here. I'm going to pour in some broth, and you would probably want about 1.5 to 2 cups, maybe 3 cups. Just depends on how much space you have around your brisket. You want there to be about 1/2 inch of liquid. And I get a lot of questions about this jar opener here. This is called a pry-a-lid. It's actually a vintage can opener, bottle opener, and I bought this off of Etsy. It works fantastic for opening jars without damaging your lids. Okay. Next I'm going to add in a couple of bay leaves. These are a little small, so I'm probably going to add like 3 of them in here. Now I'm going to take some tin foil and I'm going to take 2 sheets. This is the heavy duty kind. I'll take 2 sheets, kind of seam them together by folding the edges to make a bigger sheet, and then cover this whole thing nice and tightly, and it'll go back into the oven for about 3.5 to 4 hours, just low and slow until it's nice and tender. Alright guys, so the brisket has been cooking for about 4 hours at this point, and I just got done taking it out of the oven. It is getting dark outside, and so I've got all the lights on in here, so I have amber lights over my table, so it may throw a kind of off color over that way. But I just wanted to show you this brisket. So as you can see, it is just fall apart tender. Look at that. Super, super tender. Now, this is not a recipe that I have a blog post for on my website, but like the chipotle pork that I shared with all of you not too long ago, I will go ahead and put a printable version of this on my website where you see this video, so you can find it down underneath. And then later on, when I get around to making this again and photographing it, I will do a dedicated blog post at that time. So if you would like to get this recipe, you'll be able to find it down below.